Hello, critters. So you finished The Legend of Vox Machina and you're craving more, right? You think, I know, I'll go watch the original campaign.
Excellent idea. Until you hit play on episode 1 and two things smack you in the face. The questionable sound quality and the 3 to 4 hour runtime. Yikes.
Don't worry, we've got you. We're diving into the chaos so you don't have to. We'll sacrifice our ears and our evenings to bring you the recaps, highlights, and all of the behind-the-scene magic you crave.
Welcome to Vox Rewatch.
Because the past deserves a second look.
With better audio. We're just a bunch of longtime friends and proud critters who love the chaos, the characters, and the wild ride of storytelling. Join us as we dive back into it all with lots of laughs, way too many theories, and probably some tears too.
I'm Doug.
I'm Connie.
And I'm Eric. This podcast is part of Tabletop Tether, our nerdy little home for TTRPG content, deep dives, and unapologetic fan joy. Just so we're clear, Vox Rewatch is an unofficial fan podcast and isn't affiliated with or endorsed by Critical Role in any way. When we rejoin the action, Vox Machina finds themselves still entangled with their unlikely ally, Clarota, the exiled mind flayer whose motives straddle the line between vengeance and desperation. Clarota reveals his tragic backstory, cast out from his people after being marked by arcane power, severed from the Elder Brain, and forced to survive in isolation. He shares what he knows about Kavarn, a mysterious entity that seized control of a Duergar stronghold and bent the dwarves to its will. Clarota's knowledge adds both urgency and dread to the player's quest, underscoring just how perilous their paths have become. From there, the episode drives forward with a mix of strategy, banter, and bursts of chaos that define Vox Machina's style, and I think every D&D campaign. The group debates tactics, whether to strike strategically or assault directly, and tensions rise as they weigh trust, risk, and their tenuous alliance with the Mind Flayer. Once battle is joined, the action is relentless. Tiberius unleashes towering stone columns that crush Duergar soldiers against the cavern ceiling. Scanlan manages to dominate the enemy general into surrendering, and Grog rages across the battlefield with brutal ferocity. But the Duergar are not the only threat. Monstrous creatures erupt from the earth, tearing into the party with devastating force. Clarota proves powerful with his telepathic abilities, as unnerving as they are useful. The fights are desperate and cinematic. Percy firing point blank into the creature's maw, Pike calling upon divine light to smite her foes, and Vax striking from the shadows with lethal precision, as he does. The party's blend of wild improvisation, teamwork, and sheer luck keeps them alive as enemies close in from all sides. By the episode's end, Vox Machina has survived, but only barely. They were dropping like flies that entire time. They won critical victories against the Duergar and leaders, yet looming over them is the shadow of Kavarn, a foe they know little about but cannot avoid. And with Clarota in the midst, ally and danger rolled into one, the group steps further into the unknown. This episode encapsulates everything that makes Critical Role unforgettable: epic battles, character-driven choices, moments of humor, and the creeping sense that every success only pulls the party deeper into the web of darker threats. So settle in as we break down the drama, the dice rolls, and the decisions of Campaign 1, Episode 4, Attack on the Duergar Warcamp.
Whoop, here we go.
All right. So,
Here's
starting off.
We have Ashley Johnson.
We do have Ashley Johnson. But we're minus Laura Bailey at the beginning.
We are.
At the beginning, yes.
For most of it. I think it was rather amusing when she popped in. She was most needed and reminded us how confused she was. But that's later on. Yes, we finally actually get to see Pike and hear Pike and know who this player is. Not just knowing that it's Ashley Johnson coming to the rescue. It's actually Pike. And we get to see the little snippets of like her and Grog's relationship a little bit later on, of like what's built off of that. and the gnomes getting to bond, and I love that they did the prestidigitation. Tiberius is like, I'm gonna clean her off, and then everybody all of a sudden lost it, and they did the running joke of, well, just Pike is too beautiful, I can't focus on anything.
Yeah, good old
Scanlan was like, "You're just too beautiful, Pike."
Yeah, just too beautiful, Pike. But it was great. I really love how Matt brought her in. It didn't seem very forced, as it was Vax and Scanlan that kind of like wandered off seeing these things. And we're thinking it's going to be like an attack or a scout or something. And now there's just Pike Trickfoot, making her way through the mines. Guys, you left me. I got lost. I did enjoy how that was handled and how she was brought in quickly, but also it still made sense. And it seemed like she and Matt had a conversation about what had happened to her during that time, because she had a lot of answers to break down what had happened to her, and her having like specific visions and things that were really helpful for the party later on.
Yeah, I like how
during the
Matt gives
planning.
her extra lore that the party didn't have, or like the little bit of extra to help explain why she was gone, and give it so she just doesn't show up. Because I know in our party, when someone doesn't show up, they're just not there, and then they show up the next time, and everything's fine and dandy. So
And it was funny too, like she started revisiting this vision for everybody, and everyone's so confused on the tunnel situation and where they've been and where they're going and this lake, and like it was amusing to watch that. Obviously, not seeing a map, or as clearly as they're seeing it, but all the confusion about, well, wait, we didn't come back from that way, or did we see that? What lake? What are you talking about, lake? And she had all the answers, but it was still just like, wait, are we not looking at the same board? Are we not looking at the same map? Their imaginations have taken them multiple different directions, and it was just funny to get that clarifying, like, oh, okay, now this all makes sense because Pike was there.
She is the grounding part of the party. Pike does bring everybody together in the best way.
she does.
Until she doesn't. Oh, wait, that's for another episode.
Oh, Miss Trickfoot. I'll always stand by you, Pike. I also love that everybody comes together, and how I really enjoy how Matt does like the long rests. Because everybody's finishing up their long rests, and how they never feel safe. Everybody is on edge, not sure what to do, how to do things, still trying to craft stuff, get things done. I enjoy how he did that versus just letting them, earn their rest as they push forward. That was fun. And then God, how long did they spend trying to figure out how they were going to get to this Duergar camp on like the war camp on the other side? Like,
yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. Like, Sam and Liam are absolute geniuses with strategy, and Sam has these like amazing ideas. Next episode, we'll talk about some other things, but when he's not, I don't know what it was, but it's like, well, let's talk strategy. What is it that we need to accomplish? What are we going to do? And the references to the SEAL Team 6 and Osama bin Laden's house. It was exactly what it was, though. He was nailing all of these points that they needed to, and then catching them like, whoa, we don't want to do light. We can't do light until we get there. But everybody was ready to just turn on the lights as soon as they
was like,
started
I
flying.
do this, and they're like,
Yeah, no, not yet. And then realizing his shortcomings with concentration spells, and oh wait, I gotta go it alone because I can't keep you as a fly if I am gonna be invisible. So but he was still willing to take on that risk, and he made a comment about a suicide mission, but it was like, well, yeah, we're still doing this. Like, we're not gonna not do this.
I like how he said, like, I can't make you invisible, but I can make you undetectable
Unseen, yeah.
or like
Yep.
unseen.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like,
That was the
that was
best line.
so good. It was
Yeah.
so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, he and Liam, as they walk through this building, this barracks.
Did you forget what they're bringing with them?
Oh yes,
Bucket of-
yes, the
bucket of
goblin
shit.
shit bucket.
Goblin shit. I love Liam's like, I would like to get some pitch. And Matt's like, you know what you find?
Yeah.
Goblin refuse, aka bucket o' shit.
Yes, yes.
Here you go.
Though Scanlan wasn't proficient
No,
with goblin shit buckets,
no, he wasn't.
he rolled well enough to make it happen. But the whole
I
time that those two together are so that was the most entertaining part of this episode, I think, is
Mhm.
watching them stress out about what was gonna happen inside as they're invisible, holding each other's hands because, well, that's how they met. They, you know what I mean? And the jokes and the references
Yeah.
to their actual in-person relationship. It was like it was the best part of the episode. Just Metal Gear 100%.
Love it.
I also like that this is when we actually first really get to see the things that everybody's good at. Like
Yes.
getting to watch Vax just be an assassin rogue and just take out what was the first one he took? Was it a mind flayer? The first thing that he
Yeah, he
took
took
out?
out the mind flayer.
Well, it
Which
was
just
it was a Duergar out in the hall.
Yeah, and then it
threw
was
the
the mind
coin,
flayer after that.
and then the mind flayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was because the Duergar he took out in one blow.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that was
right.
just
Oh, that's right. That's
like
right.
the first time you see a player like my home game right now has an assassin rogue, and like the first time you actually see them use assassinate and you're just like, oh, like
Mhm.
it's nuts. And then watching him do it again, like shortly
Oh,
after,
yeah.
Yeah.
it was so good.
But the really cool part was the second time he didn't finish him in that
Yeah.
first blow. So it was like, oh crap, now what?
Mhm.
What's gonna happen? And then what's he do? He rolls a nat 20 on initiative, and he's
Mhm.
the first player to go, and he can just take
Yeah.
his 2 attacks against this guy and finish him off. It's like the timing was perfect.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And then just everybody else upstairs, on because the rest of the party's hanging out on the roof while
Right.
they've snuck
Yeah.
down. And they're all just, panicking. Can we talk for 1 second though? Just if we back up for just a moment. Grog being flown with like
Yes.
them pulling him back and forth
With
was
his bronze
just
bucket.
ugh, cinema.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's-
just all of them up on their roof being like, all right, let's go, 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 go. And them trying to like, were they trying to stealth in and then just decided they weren't going to stealth, or
No, I think the shit hit the fan, or
literally?
the illithid,
Yeah.
and they broke through the roof.
Yes.
Yeah, they went through
Um,
the, because was it
and then-
Tiberius talking to Vax? Wasn't that how he was like,
They have the
Yeah.
earrings.
yeah,
so
they,
they were
yeah,
talking for
yeah,
that.
they had the earrings or something
Well,
they could talk. Well,
Technically no, but technically yes. He
yeah.
I think the downside of that moment was Tiberius thought that he could think the words through the earring,
Mhm.
and technically
yeah.
it had to be a whisper,
Yeah.
so they didn't actually hear him. But yeah,
Yeah. Because it's the message spell, I think, technically,
yeah,
Yeah.
is what it does. So,
but
yeah,
Tiberius was clutch with the
He
the
was.
grand columns, and he
Yeah.
crushed those 3 dudes just like instantly done. Like that was amazing.
Yeah. Like I said,
before we
like,
get there, though,
Yeah.
Matt, like, going through the roof and then falling through the roof, Matt was a little harsh on the damage. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
8 points of damage just for falling through a roof, and I'm like, dude, you are.
Well, you gotta consider there was no reason for Pike to jump on Grog's leg.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I mean, she
Like,
did it because she wanted to get into the
and
fight.
it was kind of I feel like it may have been like, okay, come on, Pike, you know better than this, and maybe trying to teach a lesson more than just a simple But yeah, it was pretty harsh.
I also think that this fight illustrated how they were still transitioning from Pathfinder over.
Oh
So
yeah.
I wondered that if fall damage was different in Pathfinder, because
Maybe.
as the battle starts going on, like the first person that said it as we get through later on, and we talked about people dropping like flies. I believe Scanlan was the first one to go down. And Sam starts saying, "Oh, I'm at negative 34 hit points." Because I think in Pathfinder, you count negatives and you have to heal
Yeah.
back up to positive. And we were like, "Oh yeah, you're negative," and everybody's panicking because that's what they're used to. And them realizing they're relearning how death save mechanics work. And I think Liam was the one that chimed. He was like, "No, no, no, you're at 0, and that's how that works. Now you start making death saves." So this is maybe me kind of wondering like how like different like fall damage works and those sort of things, because they're
That's true.
still so freshly like this was like the game for me, like the encounter that showed that they were still like partially in Pathfinder, like in their brains, like they hadn't
Yeah.
fully transitioned over to 5e in their thinking, which makes sense if you're used to playing another, but they were level 9 at this point. So
Oh yeah.
they've been playing for
Yeah.
years in Pathfinder. So popping over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've always had the references to like willpower versus
Yeah. Yeah,
wisdom
and they said
saves
will
and-
save and a couple of other
Yeah.
things. Like I
Yeah.
heard those pop in. And you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah. Okay."
Person had to make a engineering check.
Yeah,
Yes.
For tools.
Which
Yeah.
eventually just becomes tinkering check. I think you need to make a tinker check
Yeah.
with your tinker tools, and
Yeah.
everybody asking, "Where is this? How does that work?" I think this this fight illustrated how good of a teacher and how patient of a DM Matt is, because people were asking like, "I don't know what this is. Where did I find this?" He's like, "Oh, it's here at this," and he was like, he was guiding Laura through. I know Laura had asked specifically on something, and he just like, guided them through and said it was this. He didn't like talk back to them or say, "Why don't you know this?" or anything, which I don't think Matt would ever do. But he
No.
took the time to really like work them through it and just be like showing how wonderful of a DM he is with like them learning a new system and having the patience and like guiding them through it. I thought that was really neat to see.
And think about the level of concentration Matt has to have. He's got a battle raging in front of him. He's got his own NPCs he's got to control. He's answering questions of the players. He's he's got multiple things happening and he can just bounce to that and bounce back to this. And he doesn't seem to make like I don't know, maybe the comment section would say otherwise, but there aren't that many mistakes that I notice as he's going through that. Like there are some things he'll say, well, since you don't have your sheet tonight, we'll just say that this hits. Like that's
Yeah.
fine. And he does those like quick decisions sometimes because they don't
Yeah.
have the time to look it up. But he's got a lot that he's juggling and he manages it so well without
but
seeming to be under the pressure of it.
I mean, Laura, like you said, Laura didn't have her sheet whenever she did come, and she's making attacks or like I think it was an acrobatics check, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you'd be proficient in that, so that's a +4 plus this,
Yeah,
so
and he's
then
just
you're
going
gonna
through it,
go."
and you're just like,
Yeah.
And it's like off the top of his head, I'm like, "Holy crap!" Like I
Yeah.
would need to look that up. There's no
mhm.
no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I wouldn't be able to do it. So
I would say the only thing that Matt did not handle well, which I don't think was his fault, was the music and the
Yeah.
audio.
gosh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
That was
bad.
rough.
Like it was for a while, it was really good. I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe we're getting through this." And then it would like when the music came back in, because the chat had said that they didn't have music. When the music came in, it was blaring. And then it would cut out, everybody deafened a bit.
Yeah.
Hence why you don't need to listen to this. We've got this covered for you. Save your ears. Poor Doug, his ears really got fried being the
Listening to it
headphone.
on headphones, it was horrible. Horrible.
So, but I think I'll let it slide that the audio was the only thing that maybe out of his control.
Yeah.
Yeah. I completely forgot that Laura didn't even have her sheet. I would just remember him like shooting out numbers like this,
Yep.
and done. And it was just
I wonder if she thought that she'd be playing longer in that other game with Will Wheaton, that she didn't think to bring
that's
her
my guess.
stuff with her. Because she's like, oh, we're done. I guess I can go play with these guys, and
Yeah.
didn't realize.
And probably after that, they probably had backups of everyone's sheets at the
Oh,
studio
yeah.
going forward. Like,
Like
oh, we're never going to run into that problem
Yeah,
again.
we're
Let's
never gonna do that.
I
Or she at
remember
least had
when
a
I
backup.
when I had a game that I played at a friend's house, we all took pictures of our character sheets and then left our stuff at their house. Like I left my binder and for a long time, and then I became neurotic and brought it home with me and had like a little backpack and all the stuff that just didn't leave it. But yeah, I would imagine that now they would have copies. Like this was like, oh, we should have
When I
those.
DM'd my kids' game, I had all their binders handed back to me at the end of the game so that they couldn't get misplaced. I knew exactly where they were going to be every time.
You're giving me a little panic because I don't know where my kids' character sheets are right now. So,
Oh
thank you
no.
for that.
My
Yes, you
kids'
just
character
hold on to
sheets
them.
live in not sponsored D&D Beyond.
There you go.
But it was crazy, like, watching everybody fight. And can we talk about like, you talk about how smart of a player, like, Liam and Sam are. Can we talk about how cool and collected Taliesin was during this
Oh
game?
yeah.
With, like, he gets in there, he gets his arm, like, grappled and bitten by later on, a bullet comes, right?
Yeah.
Was it a
Yeah.
bullet?
Bullet.
Yeah,
Yep.
a bullet comes up, and he gets grappled, and I remember him saying, "Matt, am I still grappled?" And he said, "Yes," and he went, "Good." And
I would like to
talked
be.
yeah, I'd like to be. And how he, like, just fires inside of the mouth of this creature, and, like, how cool that is, and, like, I don't know if I would have thought to do that as a player, and I think out of the entire bunch, Taliesin was the most experienced player,
Yeah.
at the table. But
Yeah.
it was so cool because I feel like Percy has these moments where you're like, "I wouldn't have thought to do that. That's so cool." Like, "Oh," like, I feel like that was, like, the first of their, like, "Oh," kind of moments that
I
Percy
think,
gets to have in this
yeah,
game.
I think he may have actually had one a little bit sooner than that in talking with Clarota at the beginning of this episode
Oh,
and
yes.
inspecting his like mind, like the shielding that he had on his head. And he's
Yes.
like, well, and the questions he was asking, it's like, is there any way we could recreate this? I just want to, I'm a tinkerer. I want to see if I can learn what this is. When he realized he couldn't, he's like, well, what if we created some kind of feedback loop using this? And then when he realized it would take too long, it's like, well, what about reflective surfaces? And then when he realized that wasn't necessarily going to help, it's like, well, what if we just shine a really bright light? Like, and it was just
Mhm.
this like this process of thought of like, well, this isn't going to work, but I'm not giving up. He's just
Yeah.
constantly thinking about what could possibly help us in this situation. And he came up with everybody's all of a sudden, well, yeah, we could highlight the magic carpet and make
Mhm.
it a beacon. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, that all went and it worked because the Duergar ended up with disadvantage on all their attacks because of all the bright light they cast on
Mhm.
Grog's head and the shields. It was great.
I I think it highlights, how awesome that Taliesin is a player, and if we're gonna talk about it, I feel like that's the kind of player that Orion thinks he is, with
Yes,
some of the big things that he tries to do. And sometimes he does some really cool stuff,
he does.
but there are
Yeah.
some times that his turns are so convoluted, and, like, later on, and it we'll talk later, I believe Scanlan even asked him, "Are you even with us?"
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
of just how things don't work out well with these big-brained
Yeah.
ideas and trying
Mhm.
to do things. But, yeah, he's
That's
so smart.
Yeah.
what I was gonna say about Orion is that I mean, I really liked him my first watch through. He
Mhm,
was like one of my favorite characters. And I appreciated him like and we'll see this a little bit more in the next episode, but like the spell says this, but can I just tweak it a little bit to make it do this instead?
Mhm.
Like
mhm.
I appreciate that and I as a spellcaster, I try to like bend the rules like that
Yeah.
when I'm playing. And as a DM, I will 1000% anytime a player asks if they can like tweak a spell to do something slightly different, I'm all
Mhm,
for it because I think that's super cool.
mhm.
I think that tells a lot about Matt too in rewarding players for having
Yeah.
those unique thoughts like, okay, yeah, that yeah, that would be interesting. Let's see what happens because he he pulls the bullet
Right.
armor
I was
apart,
just gonna say, yeah, just
Yeah.
like the
which is
blood armor. Yep.
brilliant. Like that's
Yeah.
great, and he has telekinesis, so of course that should work
Mhm.
Yeah.
technically. But
Yeah.
according to the rules, maybe that wouldn't exactly, fly. But Matt makes that work, and it makes a really cool moment. Gives them all a bonus because now it's dropped the AC of the creature, and now
High
everyone has a better
five.
shot
Yeah.
Yeah.
at defeating it. So,
Yeah.
and of course, Grog takes advantage of the opening, and we all see what happens there.
That was insane. But just, I mean, if we talk about like the insane fight, so Scanlan went down, Percy went down. Did anybody else go down during the game? Because like Percy got back up, then Percy went down again, I thought. Or was it
Yeah.
Scanlan went up and then went down? Did anybody else go down? Because it just
No,
felt
I
like they
don't
were
think anyone
all
else
just like,
did.
because Percy and
Scanlan went
Scanlan
down
with the
first with
bullet.
the bullet, and
Yeah.
Pike ran around to heal him.
Mm-hmm.
Brief tug of war with the bullet to give him the
Pull
cure
him
wound.
out.
And Percy went down. Yeah, Percy went down. I think the next episode is where Percy goes down again. I
Okay.
think is what you're thinking
Well,
of.
I
no,
am.
Yeah.
I thought Scanlan went down again once, because once Grog split the bullet's
Maybe
mouth open,
then
he
maybe it was
dropped
Scanlan who
Scanlan.
went down twice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
But it was
I
just
don't know.
it was the first time that like the encounter actually felt kind of deadly and perilous, and like the previous episodes that we've watched, like the encounters felt like fun and engaging, like a little dangerous, and this is the first one that you're like, oh wait, hey, okay, are you down, and now you too, and like you could hear them panicking. They're like, wait, you're down too, and them starting to feel like, oh, okay, like Matt's not playing around. Like,
But to be fair, though, I don't know if it was all Matt. The fans are the one who brought the
That's
bullet
true.
in, and every time the fans bring something in, it almost kills Vox Machina. So,
Yeah.
that is
The acid ooze coming up,
yeah.
and there's an episode coming up where it's worse than this. So
it's much worse.
it's I think they may have been lucky or fortunate in their roles and such that they haven't felt this kind of tension, but now
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
things are starting to move toward more direct interaction with these levels of leadership of this group that they're fighting, things are
Mhm.
going to be more serious. And I mean, just the fact that Vax he assassinates the Illithid and he gets
Mhm.
smacked in the head by a flaming hammer 2 seconds later. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's no longer just sneaking up on one guy. You're sneaking up on someone, but now everyone knows you're there and everyone's coming after you, and definitely increase the pressure on all of them.
Mhm. And I'm still loving the hand-drawn maps with no
Yes.
grid. Because I remember a couple times there were people asking, "Am I close enough?" Match just like, "Yeah, I'm fine, close enough. Just go, let's go,
Yeah.
let's go." So it still feels very right now. I'd say it still feels very home game. It feels home game with good players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been. I completely had missed the fact, or like I forgot about it, that it was the boulette came from the audience. Like they got to vote it in. Like,
Yeah. I didn't remember that until he said at the very end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I wish that I was part of that during like the beginning stages. That would have been so cool to be like have your hand in some of those things. But
did you get to join the Vox Machina and when we got to help make the turtle bard? I took part in that.
I remember that. I remember that happening. I don't think I remember watching it, but I don't think that I
Yeah.
contributed at all or anything like that.
Yeah, that was one of the things. I did not vote for the accent that he got, but I did help. I think I did vote turtle. I do remember that, like asking and suggesting, and but
What
so
was the accent?
Oh, it was like the Creole accent. He sounded like
With a stutter.
Yeah, with the
That's right, I
stutter.
remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's like, "You're a voice actor."
When I played my turtle, I it was kind of a hippie like druid, and it was the voice of, and I can never remember the turtle from Neverending
Crush?
Story. The giant turtle from Neverending Story.
Oh, Never Story.
But it spoke real slow, and so I was always speaking real, but like in a slightly hippie kind of like Cheech and Chong kind of way. So it was a little bit like I was. It was great. I loved my turtle.
Oh, that's fun.
So I have a confession to make.
Oh no.
Never seen the Neverending Story.
Don't tell Jake.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
Eric, here's the thing. We need you to watch it so that you can trauma bond with us.
Yes.
Because you're never
I
gonna look at pits of mud the same ever again.
Yeah.
Come on! Unpack! Fight against the sadness Arctics!
Oh, I've seen all the memes. So
Yeah, but that's
It hits different when you're invested in them.
Yeah, really know those characters. And
what's the Val Kilmer movie? I haven't seen that one either. The fantasy movie that he was in, I can't remember the name.
Willow?
Yeah, never saw that.
Please tell me you've at least seen Labyrinth.
I have.
What?
Eric!
Sarah should have.
Okay. Is she? Oh, trust me. Listen, I don't like puppets.
So then you haven't watched The Dark Crystal either, have you?
No.
Have you at
Jim
least
Henson
watched
is
The
not
Last
my
Unicorn?
favorite. No, I have not.
Oh my gosh. You, Connie, he's out.
Am I losing my name
You're
card?
gone. Garrick, leave that. Guys, I'm so sorry, guys. Talked. It's done. Vox Rewatch. I'm sorry. We're canceled. It's done. It's just going to be Doug and me from now on.
And thank you for listening.
Guys, I really appreciate this.
Of Vox Rewatch.
If you
We're
want to catch more,
rebranding next episode.
Yeah.
We'll come up with something clever.
Just
without
the two
Eric.
of us. There's no Erics he can try. Just the two of us, Doug and I.
You and I.
Fine, whatever.
It was brave
movies.
of you. It was brave of you to share that with us, Eric. I'm so disappointed and proud of you at the same time.
Hey, listen, now we have something that we can do on a Patreon.
Yeah.
A watch of.
We'll do a watch party.
Movies. All of them.
We'll do Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes,
we'll have our little silhouettes with our reactions in the front.
We'll have to make a list of all the other movies that you probably haven't seen.
Only with Muppets, though. We must make it only Muppet movies for Eric.
We're gonna watch. We'll watch all the seasons of the Muppet Show.
Yes,
one episode at a time.
All Muppets. No. Eric, does that mean that you haven't seen a Muppet Christmas Carol?
I've seen it. I don't like it.
Fraggle Rock.
That's the best. Cast your cares away.
Fraggle Rock.
For another day,
What's the otter? What's the Otis?
But Eureka's Castle?
No, the Jug Band.
I've seen
Christmas
it.
Movie.
Didn't like it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Otis Otter, right? Otis Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
I know. I was talking about Eureka's Castle.
I know Eureka's Castle.
No, this is all puppets. Is that puppets? I haven't seen that one either.
Oh, Eric.
I'm sorry.
I feel so betrayed after our 20 years of friendship. It's just gone. Do I even know you?
You're right.
Eric! I'm sorry. I guess we should get back into the actual series we're reacting to. If you watch one of the shows before next week, maybe we'll let you record with us.
We'll see about that.
You watch Neverending Story.
Watch the Neverending Story, okay? It's only got a puppet.
Listen, the dragon dog thing creased me out. I'm not gonna lie.
What's wrong? That's amazing. I wanted one of those so bad. I wanted to fly around New York City or wherever they were. And
okay, well then we're watching Labyrinth.
My bullies.
So which one do you want?
Yeah, Labyrinth is good. It's got more puppets though.
I guess I can watch Labyrinth.
But you get David Bowie. David Bowie as the Goblin King.
Yeah.
You remind me of the babe. What babe? The baby with the child. What child? The power of voodoo. You do. Who do remind me of the babe? Okay, that was like my teenage awakening, okay? I'm sorry. I wanted
I
to
remember
be
watching a
Santa.
behind the scenes
Oh,
documentary about
the
that
puppet
movie.
guy
Yeah, yeah. That was so good. It's so cool how they made those puppets. I always like watching behind the scenes of any of the Jim Henson stuff because, or Star Wars when you see Jabba the Hutt.
Oh yeah.
You know.
See, you watch Star Wars though, and those have
It's
puppets in
not the
it.
same. Puppets by themselves are not the issue.
It's when it
It's
has
like
an M in front of it that is a problem. It's a Muppet, not a
Yes,
puppet. That's the
it's a
problem.
Muppet.
Maybe,
You-
and I'm gonna put a target on my back here. Maybe it's
no.
like my thing with musicals
There you go.
because I don't like most musicals because nobody just randomly. If I get in the mood to sing a song, the 20 people that just happen to be around me are not going to dance in perfect choreography with me.
But they should, damn
I
it.
have
No,
had
that's
it
not how
happen
that
before.
works. That's not
I've
how
had
that
it happen
works.
with like 3 people before.
Oh yeah, 3 people maybe. Did you know them?
Yeah.
That's different. That's different. We're talking random strangers. that
Actually,
just start-
I did have it happen at a
Doesn't
con
happen.
once.
Yeah, that could happen at a con.
Yeah.
Besides
Again,
Moulin Rouge,
musicals.
and I have warmed up to Greatest Showman because my daughter
That's
loves it, and
because
I
that's
can't.
freaking amazing.
The music is awesome, and that's what it is about those two. It's the music itself that keeps me hooked in those 2 musicals. But every other musical I've seen, I'm not a fan.
This is going to give our audience a little insight as to when this is being recorded. K-pop Demon Hunters. Have you watched that yet?
Mm-mm.
Dude, if you want a song stuck in your head, Golden. Oh my gosh, I cannot get that song out of my head. It has been weeks that I've been listening to this song. It is on repeat.
I'm also just a K-pop girly in general, so it just my 2 worlds colliding. Oh wait, do I need to go find my light stick? It's right over there.
So,
back to the episode.
is this so oh, and we end on a bang. Grog.
Okay. Oh wait, no.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
So Scanlan gets like crunched in the mouth of the bullet.
Yeah.
Just thrown about until he's unconscious. Blood flying everywhere. Grog, what's the it wasn't just a rage, it was the
Frenzied rage.
And he hacks at it and he ends up tearing the tongue out with his mouth.
Yes, he specifically
And
asked for that.
King Konging the jaw, splitting up and then pushing up through the brain to kill it.
Yep.
Turns to the other Duergar in the room, which is just one regular Duergar and the general, I believe, at that point, and says, "Who's next?" with this fleshy tongue hanging in his mouth, and that ends the episode. It was classic Grog, the best possible, and it was funny because it was the first 2 attacks that he did the tongue, and he's like, "Okay, so the nat 20 that finishes it, what are you gonna do?" And he's like, "What do you do when you have a tongue hanging out of your mouth?" Like that's like he didn't even know how he could top that until
I think Liam had made the suggestion to
brain
split
him.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But we get to see that animated in The Legend of Vox Machina. It's one of the memories that they share around the campfire in the first season. So,
oh yeah,
right. I forgot about that too.
I do love the fact that right now we're just seeing Travis Willingham as Grog.
Yeah.
And right now, seeing him play as that, you just think he's just the guy that loves to beat them down, do all these things. And learning later on, I think we might have touched it, he is such a tactical and thoughtful player stuck inside of an idiot.
Yes.
And so
man-child.
Yep, he is stuck inside of Grog with his intelligence of 6, and Travis wants to do things so bad, and it gives I give him so much credit because you can see the gears turning when he puts things together, and he just zips it and waits, and then he goes, "You just I remember him having
or the opposite happens, and he'll be like, he'll be whispering over, well, do it, do this, do this, do this. And then they finally do it, and he's like, yeah. And you can tell he's super stoked that they're doing something that and it turns out to be something really good and really cool and helpful. But he saw it like 10 minutes before, and he was just sitting there thinking about it, like, when can we make this work?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even this episode, he was so stuck. I don't know how many times he suggested lightning the lake.
Yes.
Yep.
Don't you have lightning? Don't you have lightning? You have lightning, right? We can lightning the lake. Just fry it. It's okay. Just fry the lake. It's like, doesn't work like that, but good on you.
Yeah.
Love the idea. Love the idea, buddy.
Yeah.
Execution, not as great.
Right.
Oh man. This was a good episode. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's only so much to talk about because it felt like over a good 60% of it, 70% of it was just the fight. And the other part of it was just them figuring out how to do this fight, of how to it was literally it was like figuring out the max weight capacity of Keyleth as a bird. And then it was like, what's the max weight capacity of the carpet? Well, then what do we do about Grog? Well, I guess I can make him fly. And then Grog being so dumb, he can't fly forwards or backwards. And I love that Travis was like, I go back this way instead.
He had
I go over here.
Too.
He had the pot on and talking about flying him. And literally, it was just them for the longest time trying to figure out. And I relate to that on such a cellular level. In my very first home game, when we were trying to fly out to places, it was us figuring out our druid, who could she lift and carry? And then at that point, I had a broom of flying. I was pretty excited about having that. So I could fly out, but then who could I throw on the broom with me? But could I carry 2 people off the sides of my broom? And just trying to figure out how to squish everybody to where he needed to go. I very much relate to the struggles that Vox Machina has. And then they're like, we have to leave Trinket. And speaking of leaving people behind, Laura Bailey sat down at the table when they had landed on the roof. And I just remember Sam going, we're in a lot of shit. Don't worry. Explain later. Let's go. Or something to that extent.
We're on Osama bin Laden's house.
Yeah. And just and Laura's just like, okay, let's go. Because, it was just, the perfect timing. She literally just sat down and was like, oh, we're doing this. And just off they go into the wild.
Real quick about Taliesin again. It was when she got back in, he said, I gave you an entrapment arrow. She's like, oh, I get ready for that, because she had no idea what else was happening. But his line to her was, I'm going to Hawkeye her out at some point.
Yeah.
And make her all these trick arrows. Yeah. And I don't know if that actually happens. I know there's one that comes up pretty soon, a couple episodes from now, but I don't remember how many he actually was able to make through the campaign. But
a couple. The bow arrow is the main one.
Considering what happens in the next arc, he turns his tinkering onto other items.
Okay.
And really starts working on his items and his things with Orthax and what happens with all of that. And I feel like when Orthax kind of really touches into his influence, it focuses a lot of his tinkering for a while, focuses it on himself. And then later on, he starts making items, not necessarily like arrows and things, but he does make other items for the party. But after this, it really, Percy goes for a ride.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Oh my god! But I now that you bring that up, just thinking about what he has and hasn't made, I feel like too, that's him talking so Pathfinder still, because Pathfinder, you can really craft and make a lot of things, and it depends on your DM allowing you to craft and make your items and pull things together. How quick you can do that. But I know that wasn't there a whole crafting table and all of these things that went along with that. Maybe
I don't know with Pathfinder. I know with 5th edition, the books that have come out, it takes so long to make things.
It
does. I feel it just kills the pacing. So I hate it. but like Doug, in our one campaign, your rogue was a poisoner, and we worked out this whole thing with like rules for picking up items and things like that. But to actually create things, it just took so long that the pacing just died.
Yeah.
So it never ended up happening.
Yeah, I will never forget a few campaigns ago when I was playing a cleric, and we were getting ready to go into like this like a prolonged like a year-long bit of downtime, and it took me almost the entire year to write the 4 scrolls of Revivify for the party because of how long it would take to write them, enchant them, and go through all of that so each person could have a scroll to use. But basically the in case of emergency, break glass.
Right.
And I just remember it was just like we looked it up. They're like, oh, it shouldn't take long. And then it was just like, oh my God. Like it really does. I mean, I don't know if you're like me, Eric, but I tend to let those things go a little faster. Like my wizard, I let him scribe and write down things a little bit faster than he should have, because like you said, it kills the pacing. And like if that's something your character's able to do, it kind of sucks if they can't do it quickly or well, or is like on par with the rest of the party, I suppose.
Yeah, the wizard, the Order of the Scribe can speed things up a little bit. I think they have the cost and have the time for scrolls, and they're able to daily create, I think, up to a level 2 scroll for free, but not for others to use. It's only for the wizard to use. So
yeah, between 2 hours to 8 days. And whether the characters are wizard or the Order of the Scribes. Yeah. And it's, what does it say? The base time is 3 spell levels times 2 hours per level equals 6 hours, and an 8-hour workday.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I wonder if the 2024 rules updated that.
I will have to take a look at that and see.
I
don't know if they've come out with books to update that yet.
I know that like a lot of things, like weird things, have been updated in the 2024 rules. I'll have to ask my friend Julian, because he's slowly teaching like us how the rules work. He's actually doing it right now. Hi, Julian. I guess that's something we could also discover together, along with Daggerheart. Along with Daggerheart. I said that right. We are going to be playing a one-shot of Daggerheart soon enough, right?
Yep, I reached out to a friend today to see if they're interested in joining us, and he agreed, so our party grows.
Our party grows.
Nice.
I mean, if you need people to play, I have a couple of people that I've already vetted several times that are glorious players.
Okay.
I have a friend that's been wanting to play D&D, but anything at this point I think would be fine with him, so.
Okay.
No pressure.
I mean, I guess I don't know if I'm allowed to come back and, DM a Daggerheart session, so maybe we won't be playing Daggerheart if, I just got fired tonight.
Oh, no!
We'll see.
Hey, Eric,
how many movies
I
I
have
can
a
watch.
favor to ask of you. Can I borrow your Daggerheart stuff?
No.
I'll swing down and
Absolutely
pick it up next time we hang out, play games.
The levels of betrayal. You come over to the house, and Doug comes over and he brings the 6-pack and he puts it down directly in front of the Daggerheart. He lays it down, rolls a sleight of hand check, and it's just gone.
Gone.
Where did it go? I don't know. It's only been the beverages right here the whole time. The whole time.
I know what you like, Eric.
You do. You do. Not the never-ending story.
Where Daggerheart was will be all the entire all the seasons of the Muppet Show, Never-Ending Story, and Labyrinth. That'll be the stack of books in its place.
I want you to remember who's going to be editing these and who's going to be putting as many Muppets around you at all times. I know that there are things that you can do to turn a person into a Muppet at certain points.
No.
But see, yes.
Hey, audience, we're looking for a new editor. Is this our new gag now that someone gets fired every episode? Is this what we're doing?
You're fired. You're fired.
Because Connie had the HR violation.
You're fired.
I did have the HR violation.
You're fired. You're fired.
I'm finding new roles to constantly get myself fired from in this, guys. Literally, I'm just the personality hire. They try to put me in other things, and I just find ways to get gotten. You know, guys. Now I'm drinking on the job now. You know.
Cheers.
Water.
I've got
so
that too.
professional. So professional. Me
too.
too.
I don't have the fancy water bottles that you guys have, but I'll leave that to my daughter.
Well, I guess with that.
Yeah. This is a wrap for this episode since we've talked to.
Where can they find us, Eric?
Yeah, where can we find ourselves? Guys, we can find us all over the interweb, right? Right? Where in the interwebs can we find ourselves?
At www.tabletoptether.com, where all of our new episodes will be posted. We've got articles about D&D and board game reviews and things like that. So check it out. Make sure you sign up for notifications and the newsletter and whatnot, so you're up to speed on all the cool things that we do.
And you can find us on all of the socials, on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
We've got to reach out to the Gen X crowd that's still on Facebook.
But all of the places at Tabletop Tether.
Yep.
And I mean, you'll see my face a lot because I do a lot of social media stuff, but don't worry. I'm going to make sure that these two, which is where we're recording, this is how I see them. I don't know if this is where everyone else is seeing them. But I will make sure that it's just not the personality hire that is splattered across all of our socials. And if you like what you see here, you're going to see wonderful snippets and outtakes and all of the wonderful things that maybe didn't make it into this podcast, but we thought were too good to let them lay on the editing floor. So if you want to see the fun stuff where we make fun of each other or ourselves or run on a tangent, you'll find them there.
Also, drop some comments if there's things you want to see. Certain systems that you want us to try. I know that there are a lot of smaller level systems out there that are all awesome. So I know there are a couple that I am thinking about doing some one shots from with these guys. So I'm not going to say what those are yet, but if you drop the comments, let us know what you want to see, and we'll try to do some of that stuff.
The other thing I want all of you to put your comments in is which Muppet-centric movie we are going to force Eric to watch first.
Okay, if I'm watching a Muppet movie, then Doug is watching a musical.
Oh, I'll pick.
I can watch a musical, though. I just won't enjoy it.
Can we watch a Muppet musical?
You know how many musicals I've had to watch with my wife and daughter? Trust me, I have watched Hamilton? A lot of musicals. That's one I haven't seen.
Oh, dude.
Because my daughter watched it without me. I wasn't around for that. And I wasn't gonna seek out a musical. That's just not my thing.
I mean,
well, now I need to see if Muppet Hamilton exists. I'm gonna find it.
There you go.
It'll be great.
There is a Critical Role Hamilton. Have you guys heard it?
There is. It's so good. Oh, the song "Burn" for Keyleth.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Doug, you want to?
I remember when it came out. It was a big.
But yeah.
It was a big fan project back in the day. I remember when it came out, sitting on the floor listening to it, tears during certain things. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty
good. Check it out.
Yeah. And you know what? Hopefully you check us out next week.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining in, friends, and we'll see you next week when we talk about episode 5. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Vox Rewatch is an unofficial fan podcast and is not approved or endorsed in any way by Critical Role. Critical Role and all related content are owned by Critical Role Productions. This podcast is for non-commercial, transformative use, created under Critical Role's fan content policy. For more info, visit critroll.com.